everyone, standing here in front of our courthouse, which is one of the oldest buildings we have in town.
Here where the Ozark Highland borders on the western Prairie region of Missouri, Cedar County was organized in 1845. On it, the reflections, as you can't hardly tell where the water is and where the reflection is. It was on this bank of Bear Creek, just east of where it empties into the Big Sac River, about 3 miles northeast of Stockton, that a group of people met on February 14, 1845. And the birth of Cedar County took place. In the late 1840s, this place became known as Crow's Mill and is the place where the first county court was held. In 1870, Owens Mill was built on this site, and this is the name by which most people today know this area. It's interesting to stand out here and try to think back 163 years to the time of 1845. That's a long time ago. Only a few early settlers lived in the area, hardy souls, frontier people with fierce, independent mentalities. This mill was a business, a trading post, a gathering place. It was important, a place where water was forced to turn a wheel, the wheel of a mill. Wheat and corn was ground and sold. Flour and meal was produced for food, for cooking, for the people living in the few cabins upstream and downstream. In 1845, enough settlers had come to the area. It was time to organize local government, closer than the nearest county seat. On February 14, 1845, at this site, Cedar County was born. In 1846, they laid out a new town for a county seat 3 miles to the southwest. The town was by that bluff above the wonderful spring that was coming out from the cave below. Does that sound familiar? That is the bluff where Stockton Square sits, a block above the spring at the city park. They planned a courthouse, and they decided to name the town Lancaster. Hi, this is Tom Colton with Stockton Today, and we are literally on a new bridge that's over Bear Creek. It's just been finished. I'm here with Robert Wolf, and Robert actually built the bridge here. Is that correct? That's correct. And I just met Robert, and Robert's been telling me information because I came out here to see Crow's Mill. And Crow's Mill, the building in the background there, is the place where Cedar County first began. In 1845, the Cedar County Commission formed Cedar County. Robert, I'd like for you to tell me a little bit about what you know of the history, how long you've been involved with it.
Well, I've just learned from the locals here since I've been working on the site here. But apparently, the original dam was wooden, and then a few years after they erected that, they made it a stone dam, which is what you see here, which has obviously been repaired many times because of the flooding and stuff. But this year, 2008, wasn't very good to it too, but I've rebuilt part of the spillway, and it's better than what we left it. And this was a side wheel mill, as far as I know. The wheel turned horizontally instead of vertically overhead.
Okay.
So it's kind of an interesting place.
Right. And you have taken pictures of the old bridge that was here.
Yeah, I have pictures.
Do you know what it dates back to?
I don't know when that bridge was erected. It's going to be right around 100 years.
Let me ask you, in your study of the old mill here, what have you found out about it as far as the date? Do you have the date that it goes back to?
I think 1828 was when the original wooden dam was erected. Okay. And when the town kind of sprang up here, and there was actually a post office here on the site. So there's a lot more buildings in here and whatnot than what there is now.
What was the name of the original town back then?
It started with an A, and I can't remember it. I can
yeah,
set the tip
it's
of my
close to
tongue.
that. Me too. I'll get that, but I know it. Yeah.
The cold storage building is still intact, and it sits over there across from the mill.
Have you been inside the mill?
Well, that's really a cabin that was built about in the 50s.
Okay.
They built that
side
on.
of the mill, but you can see where the wheel was.
Yeah, there's not really much to see of the original mill. It used to be, from the pictures I saw, it was a white machine house and very large. And it was probably as tall as that tree is right there. So it was a big building.
Okay. Well, it's exciting. I drove out here just to look at the site where Crow's Mill was, the beginning of the Cedar County and the beginning of the city of Stockton. Eventually, it was there that they planned to have the city that they were going to call it Lancaster.
Yes.
A year later, they changed the name to Fremont, and I'm going to tell a history lesson tonight about how that name changed to Stockton and the controversy over it. But it's kind of a humorous story, I think. Okay. Robert, it was nice to meet you, and we kind of stumbled onto you.
Yeah.
Welcome. We're glad. Thank you for talking to Stockton today, and this has been a fun chance meeting here at Crow's Mill, the beginning of Cedar County. Yesterday we were out here, we met one of the major people who were involved in building this bridge, and we talked with him on film. And he was telling us that he had worked hard at putting the rocks, extra rocks in, and helping provide a stronger foundation for the dam here and helping rebuild the dam. It was very obvious that he has a love for history, and he was telling us different things that he knows about the mill here. And it was very, very interesting because I'd just done the research, and he was telling me things that I had just read about, and so it was exciting talking with him. But it's obvious that he has a love for nature, and it's obvious as we've come out today and we've been down by the creek bank and looked back up at the bridge, that even though this is just a bridge, a country bridge on a gravel road out, where there's not a lot of traffic, it's a beautiful bridge, and the crew has done a wonderful job. And we're basically bringing you the opening of this bridge because yesterday the signs were still up, and the signs are gone today, and they finished their work. And it is a beautiful little bridge at a very historic spot, the birthplace of Cedar County. For all of Stockton residents, this is the birthplace of our county. This is Tom Colgan signing off for Stockton Today. We often forget our past, our roots, our beginnings, fade into the dark shadows of years gone by. But it is exciting to remember, to glimpse, to become aware, to feel the excitement of the heritage that is uniquely ours.